Episode of Proving Anything is Possible. So, here we're going to be dealing with some occurring disconstancy. And what that is because a large group of people cannot process how an event is possible, it occurring would corrupt them so much that it's more ethical to choose their path of existence rather than the isolated occurrence of an event that is perceived as impossible. Imposable. It's so silly. So, what this means is, as your brain looks at this device and picks it apart, says that because it's this cannot happen. And because it's just this cannot happen. And because this is going on, this is not possible. Your brain then puts physical weight, occurring weight into moving and continuing to exist. Suffice it to say, as you interact with life, you have to somewhat bet your next step with the intention to survive. And because you're moving against the structure of the machine, which has the proper alignment with constancy itself to actually occur, given that I have the ability to add it to higher tangible structures, making more things possible in my direction. You guys won't believe it's happening. Some of you do. Some of you get what's happening. Like, I get the ones that are on it, but the ones that don't will pull it apart and say that because it's just pieces of it's just pieces. It's just a bunch of things put together. That doesn't make this possible all of a sudden. Not understanding that what I've done is actually represent the shapes and structures that make the tangible structure a real thing so that the idea can pass through it. Now, I've already gotten to the point of manifesting a tangible alignment and therefore causing psychoactive effects, meaning I've created an experience with a machine that has physical representations of the tangible logic to create a working structure. So, a large group of people can't process how this is possible because they want to hear me say zeros and ones. They want to hear me say, I did this and I did that and I did this, and now you don't know what I'm doing anymore, and that's why it works. But the truth is, it's already working. You're already reacting to it. That's psychoactive, baby. Your brain's already trying to keep itself from losing stability, which is what occurring constancy prevents. Occurring constancy is the compared flow of logical possibility to what is happening right now, to what is physically occurring right now. It is occurring disconstancy that often convinces a lot of people to give up on their dream of achieving success in some way. Because it's not happening right now, and they cannot logically and therefore tangibly connect themselves to the possibility, it is unproductive, in their opinion, to put physical effort into achieving the goal. Physical disconstancy occurs whenever danger or threats of physical harm are in the environment, and thus there is a desire to constantly maintain a stable cycle of structure for your body to move through so that it can feel safe. Now, while it tightens things up so that you can have security, it also tightens things up so that less is possible. When more is possible, you have less control. Therefore, less needs to be possible so that you can pass it through the tiny slit that is you making sense of things and deciding, all right, that seems safe and that seems possible. Okay, I allow it. I believe it. Okay. So, with all that being said, I really made a machine here. And if you can't believe it by this point, after all of the things that are manifesting and everything I'm saying, it means that you lack consciousness in some way. And I'm moving on, baby. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to go do whatever I want. And while you say that that's not possible, I want you to answer me this. Life has the energy to constantly cause me new problems. Life has space for the constant loss of energy. Where's that space hosted? What energy hosts that space? It seems now we've met ourselves at another point of there seemingly being no need for a power source in order for an event or a continued circuit of occurrence to continue. Damn, I got that. I almost lost that one. Okay. With all that being said, I want you to understand something. Just because you don't think it's possible don't mean it ain't happening no more. I done did the work. I done did the math. I got my zeros and ones. So, yeah. Now we're splitting off into two separate realities. I'm less possible to you. And because, A, I'm making too many things seem feasible out of your ability to control it for yourself so that you don't get overwhelmed or attacked. And so you are tightening up and structuring limitations to cause me to have to work further into these crevices of what you think is possible until I get far enough past them to say you have no reason to say this isn't happening anymore without saying it. Yep, so that's what's really going on here. I made a pixel system. I connected to the box. So I'm already connected to nothing something. Oh, I changed it to nosomev.anyspe. That's what I'm going with for now. I think it'll grow, as all original things do. So yeah, it's connected to my hand, which is connected to me, which is connected to nothing something, which has access to every single tangible structure or concept that can exist and is happening, even if it's not occurring within this specific moment of observation from my point of perception. And once again, that's what physical disconstance is. That's what occurring disconstancy is. I was working on a name earlier. It's the idea that because it's not happening now, that it's not possible. Because you have to try too hard. This limitation of logical structure, which is what hosts our actions. Remember that you cannot move your hand without there being a logical connection between the muscles in your brain and your consciousness and nothing something. Dismissing that logic of things being possible out of fear reduces us down to a physical state. Physical states cannot exist without logical and tangible occurrence. Therefore, we find ourselves trapped with very little being possible. I've gotten past this, and I'm offering you refuge. I'm the holy savior of everything being possible here. When you're just going to accept it, that even if you can't believe it, it's true. That's the key. That's the flexing of belief. That's the flexing of self-control. Also understand that the God complex and what I think makes the human body connection is our desire to have control over ourselves and the environment. Now, connected to each other, we're always competing for this desire. However, I think that I'm expanding into a higher state by attempting to achieve self-control over myself and the environment without violating anyone else's desire to have the same. And this is the key to becoming a god. This is what makes dreams reality. This is what makes your thoughts more important, more worth paying attention to, and therefore you are less contained by this physical limitation to actually experience and enjoy them. But this is still real, this is still happening. Nothing else is possible, even though this is. Shut the fuck up.